Hi, and welcome to our third and final presentation on getting to know our throughput operations strategy. Today we will focus on using the principles discussed in lessons 1 and 2 and use them to reach for step 5 in the lean cycle, which is the pursuit of continuous improvement, this being perhaps the most important concept of all. Understanding lean concepts can be very beneficial for improving the performance of our company, but if we don't make it a part of our culture and if everyone doesn't get involved, it becomes extremely difficult, if not impossible, to gain the true benefits that lean manufacturing has to offer. Hopefully, this lesson will present a vision of what we can accomplish here at Quality Craft by making lean culture a part of our throughput operations strategy. So how do we make lean a part of our culture? How do we make it fun and exciting? Often when people hear about the prospect of working in an environment that is continually changing due to constant improvement goals, they get concerned that there will be added pressure and stress at work trying to meet these expectations. But as you will see in this presentation, the opposite is actually the case. So what does lean look like, and how do we take it from a level of theories and ideas to an active and living culture within the workplace? Paul Akers from FastCap is a great example to follow in the pursuit of this goal. With over 15 years of experience, he has helped multiple companies around the world develop a lean culture and inspired many others to take these concepts home, benefiting them in countless ways. To make it simple, he has narrowed the most important keys to creating a lean culture down to just 3 key factors. But before we introduce them, let's begin by taking a tour through his shop for a glimpse of the possibilities lean has to offer. Keep in mind that this is just one example. Companies around the world have followed this strategy and look just like what you are about to see. They have gone from cleaning their workplace with snow shovels once a week to an always clean and orderly environment.
Quick overview of FastCap, and we get around this whole facility on razors because it allows us to overcome the size of this place because it's 50,000 square feet. It is absolutely huge. And I'm going to do one last thing to end this tour just for fun. I'm going to run up the stairs so you can see what it's like up above, so you can see how beautiful this facility is. So there you have it. Hey everyone, Paul Akers. So I'm at FastCap and I get so many calls and emails every day, people saying we want to come tour here, we want to see what you're doing. Well, the bottom line is we only give about 8 tours a year now because we have 10 requests a day. It's just crazy, and we can't do that because we have to work. So I'm going to tell you the tour requirements. Number 1, you have to make a minimum of 100 videos and your CEO has to be present regardless of the size of your company. And you have to be doing lean actively, a morning meeting, 3S, you have to be doing all those things. So those are the minimum requirements before we'd even consider it, because we don't have time basically to convince you that lean is the right thing. As far as we're concerned, lean is like the only way. And if you don't get that, well, when you get it, then maybe we'll consider letting you come here, but only after you've proven it to us because you've actually implemented and built a lean culture and you want to come here to further your lean learning. So that's the basic requirement. But what I'm going to do real quick though, is give you a quick tour of our facility, because the bottom line is we produce over 2,000 videos, 5 million views. The lean tour video alone has, I think, 170,000 views right now from people all over the world. So we've actually created lean learning tools the lean way. You don't have to come all the way to Bellingham, Washington to check out what we're doing. So that's one of the other reasons why it's way leaner just to watch the videos. Yes, it's inspiring to come here and see what we're doing, but the bottom line is you got to go to a pretty high level before we let you come here. So when you walk in the front door, you can see our office. It's all stand up. We've made all the pipe desks out of fast pipe. It's very cool. And you can see we don't have any walls because that's the factory floor right there, the shipping and receiving, connected right to everything we're doing. And most importantly, this is my desk, this is my office, and this is my crazy dog Yoshi right here. He's friendly as could be. And so I'm just going to scooter around real quick and I'm going to show you FastCap, then you don't have to come here, then you can get an idea of all the cool things we're doing. So the first stop is the showroom, which is really, really cool. And the showroom, everything's on wheels as well, and you can see all of our cool products, our best fence system, our great Kaizen foam panels here, our conference room, which is world famous because there's no chairs. Check that out. We have a nice little display here of the history of how products are developed, going from the crude all the way up to the finished product in both the laser jam and different products. We have a simple rolling board. This is where we have our leadership meeting all the time, and it's very lean, very efficient because we're standing up and we're not wasting a lot of time, everyone getting comfortable. We get back to work doing the value-added work for our customers. So then, now this is reminiscent of a tour I did several years ago that's so popular. And then of course my hot car, I have an amazing Porsche. It gets parked right there. And then this is graphic design right here. Notice everything's on wheels, everybody's standing up. So this is graphic design, marketing, that's where all this happens. Again, the showroom's behind me. And we have the most amazing bathroom in the whole world, which I'm going to show you right now, which is one of our claim to fame. Of course, a nice 8-step process right there on how the bathroom's cleaned and who's responsible for cleaning it. I actually cleaned the bathroom this morning. I'm the president of the company and I clean the bathroom because everybody takes responsibility for everything. Everything is flawless, clean, immaculate. Look at this, the best bathrooms in the whole world, better than the Ritz-Carlton. I stay in the Ritz-Carlton from time to time, and my bathrooms are way better because we have Japanese bidet toilet seats that heat. You don't ever want to get out the toilet seat. That's the only place that people like to sit in our place. So it is just rock and roll, immaculate, clean. Check this out. You walk into our supply room. Look at this. Is this magic? Cleaning stations for all the different areas. Everything's Kanban. Everything's dialed in. There's not a mess anywhere in FastCap. Everything is so perfect because we take the time to improve everything. That's what 2-second lean is all about. We're always improving everything. So all the bathrooms are standardized. The men's and the women's are the same. Notice the men's seat are down. There's no toilet paper. There's cleaning stations for everything. Everything's totally dialed in, and it stays that way all day long because we keep the rope tight. We say we keep the rope so tight you can bounce a dime to the moon. That means we hold very high standards in everything we do. So this is the way we maintain a great work environment. So this is a cool little area up here, little place you can have coffee, you can sit down and relax if you want over here. This is our training center right here, and this is our gym up over here, and this is our dojo where we actually train people on how to do lean improvements. So let's continue on. One other amazing thing is we get around our entire facility on these little Razor scooters, which allows us to overcome the huge area. Of course, we can do that because the floors are spotless all day long. Okay, so now we come over to the kitchen area. Of course, no walls again. This is where we eat. Notice the table's perfectly clean. Everybody cleans up after themselves, puts the chairs in, wipes up. Everything's flawless. You know, our famous magnetic salt and pepper shakers. Everything's dialed in everywhere. And of course, our kitchen, which, forget it. There is no kitchen in the world like our kitchen. Can you tell I'm biased? Look at this. Who has kitchen drawers like this? Tell me about this. Who has kitchen drawers like this? No cupboards, low levels of inventory on the plates because the dishwasher does a load in 2 minutes. And of course, an 8-step process for cleaning the kitchen. And the forks and the spoons and the knives are all very neatly arranged, so they're easy and visual. So this is the way we maintain very high standards here. We're trying to be thoughtful about everything. Oh, a great new improvement that we made is this is our mistake and zero accident board. So every day somebody updates their name on whether or not they had an accident or whether or not they made it through the entire day without making a mistake. Very, very cool. And this is our grateful box right here, which is also awesome. So for years now, we've been all putting our gratefuls in, 6 a day from everyone in the company, and we never fill it up because we want to be grateful people, and that is the key to life right there. And this area right off the kitchen where we eat, this is where we have our morning meeting. Every morning where everyone meets, we call it the sandbox. This is where we play, teach, and learn. So we'll continue on. This is our main production area. So this is all down production row right here. And these are all our machines that are doing just in time, producing everything just in time. And we'll continue down our production area. This is down where Best Fence is. You can see everything's on wheels, even these gigantic racks. Very well organized down in the machine shop. Oh gosh, we gotta stop and show you this because this is so incredible. All of our tools, everything dialed in, everything perfect. Just the way it should be. Nobody's struggling to get anything. Don't you wish you worked here? I love working here because I don't struggle to do anything. Our nut and bolt rack, best in the world right there. And then of course everyone can bring their dog to work. That's Liberty right there because we like animals. And this is down in injection molding where Skylar hangs out, and it's absolutely awesome. These are all of our colorants, all Kanban, all visually labeled, pretty amazing. All of our injection molds down there with all the spec sheets on how to run each mold and magnetically apply the part that actually the mold makes. You can see the part right there. See that? There you go. So lots of cool stuff. So over to the machine shop, then over to engineering. See, you don't need to come here on a tour, you're getting it right now. So this is all engineering right over here. And these are all the engineers are standing up actually right here on the shop floor working with the people. These are all the products we make set into our Kaizen foam. This is called our lateral thinking board. This allows us to take products that we've made in the past and say, hey, you know what, we've done that before. How can we use that same concept? Very, very cool. And then we'll go over into our world-class wood shop, which in my mind is the best in the world. So clean, so organized, everything's absolutely flawless and perfect. And you will love this place. Check out this right here, pretty cool. And then over to our miter box area. Again, all the tools, everything's dialed in. We don't struggle or work hard to do anything because everything's where it's supposed to be. Notice the safety glasses are right on every machine. Doesn't matter what machine you go to, bandsaws, safety glasses, all the tools on the table saw that you need, tape measures, pencils, safety glasses, earphones, the push stick, everything's there. And our CNC machine running around. So that's our wood shop. Oh, you know what? I should show you our compressor room because I don't think, oh, this is really cool. Our sanding table right there, check out that. It works fantastic. All the sandpaper well organized. You know what? I'm going to show you our compressor room. Because the compressor room, wow, forget it. It's so good, I can't even believe it. So who has a compressor room that looks like this? You ever seen a compressor room this clean, this dialed in, this buttoned down? Yep, that's the compressor room at FastCap. Very proud of this. It stays perfect all the time. We're almost done with the tour. You see, you didn't need to come here. Of course, all of our third-hand products, everything organized on the wall, ready to work efficiently. We do keep the rope tight here, don't we? And then I almost forgot our sewing area with Natasha. This is absolutely awesome. So this is where she does all of our sewing projects and very well organized. And then another thing that's really cool is all of our forklifts. They can be 15 years old and they look brand new. So now, these are all production cells right here. So all these cells are where we make all of our products every morning. Everybody goes into the cells, produces everything just in time for the morning productions, and that's what happens there.
And all of our production work is run off a Kanban card. This ensures just-in-time delivery and that we don't overproduce anything. And on each Kanban card, there's a QR code on the back, and this QR code is a video. It shows anybody who wants to do the build exactly what they need to do. We have an iPad for them to just scan this and watch the video, and everything's done right every time.
And then we're going to come over here to the shipping area. So everything gets brought over to here where we ship everything. And you'll see that in just a minute. So this is our shipping terminal right here. And you can see all of our boxes are color coded up there. You see them up there? Right there. So it shows you all the different size boxes and they're color coded. And of course, this is the shipping area down here. And those same color codes are down here. So if you want a gold box, you come down here, you look at the gold box, and there it is. All visual. And of course, this is where all of our orders are. Very famous little board, all made out of OSB and then painted brown. So these are all of our orders. Notice, hey, how about that? Everything's color coded and there are no orders because we're getting everything out just in time. 2 hours fax to truck. Unbelievable. what we accomplish here because we are so focused on continuous improvement. And this, last of all, is our grocery store. This is where all of our product is kept in just-in-time fashion, generally anywhere between a day to a week's inventory in this line right here. So we come down this row and we pick everything. So there is a very quick tour of FastCap. I bet you liked my car the best, didn't you? And of course, if you're into playing guitars, we have beautiful Taylor guitars up here for you to play. Anyways, so there you go. That is a current tour of FastCap and the tour requirements. Very difficult to get in here. Of course, if you're a customer, you can come here anytime you want, walk in the front door, go over to our showroom, talk to our people, there's no problem. But if you want a full-blown tour and you're gonna take 2 or 3 hours of our time, you have to rise to a very high level before we'll let you do that, and then we'll embrace you and we'll help you out. And we've never charged anybody a penny for all of these tours that we've done, and a lot of companies will charge $1,000 a person, and we've never charged a penny, but you have to get to a certain level. So we've given you all the tools. You get my book online for free in 11 languages. You can watch all the videos for free. We don't want your email. We don't want anything. We just want you to improve. Prove to us that you improve, that you're willing to build a culture, you're willing to dedicate the time, put in the hard work, and make it happen, and we'll open our doors to you. And there's the front door you'll walk through. Thanks a lot.
Okay, so now that you've seen the possibilities of lean, you still might not see how this can benefit you on a personal level. Some people mention things like, hey, I don't want to constantly think about improving. What if I just want to relax a little? What if I like the exercise the extra work brings, etc.? Rest assured, lean has much to offer, not only the company, but the individual as well as the customer. Simply put, lean is all about creating flow. Anywhere you look, if there is not flow, there is stagnation. Notice a stream that is flowing freely. The water is life-giving and refreshing. In contrast, a slow-flowing stream is a depiction of residue, junk, and decomposition. Lean has the potential to create flow, not only at work, but if we choose in our daily lives as well. It's all about removing things that stand in our way or cause struggle. Removing waste does require effort, but the result is less struggle and more freedom to pursue what is truly meaningful. The invested effort pays for itself over and over. Like Paul says, lean is hard work that makes everything easy. This video does a great job presenting the value of flow.
One of the most magical concepts I've ever come to understand is flow. Every process should be like a ballerina's dance. It should be flowing, smooth, and elegant. There should be nothing stopping. It should be moving in the direction of completion. The whole thing should look like a gigantic dance. Another concept that allows me to visualize flow is a roundabout. When I'm driving and I come to a roundabout, I just think magic. Look at this. All the cars are moving. Nobody's stopping. There's flow. Another great representation of exactly what every process should look like.
Brady, what did you just say?
I said on the way into work this morning, there's a bunch of roundabouts on the way here, and I never had to stop. And as soon as I hit the stoplight, I had to wait for a minute, and then I had to wait at another stoplight for another minute, and there was no flow. I hate it when there's no flow. I love flow.
When I get on the freeway and I'm driving down the road and the traffic is flowing smoothly, I think, wow, that's beautiful. If I got on the freeway and I was in stop traffic, I would think, oh my gosh, this is a disaster. This is not what the freeway was intended to do. It's not flow. And when there's no flow, you have mountains of waste. Think of all the time that's being wasted right here. So the question is, let's look at all the processes that are in your organization that don't have flow. When I walk into Costco and I'm checking out and I look at the food court line, I think to myself, man, I'd like a slice of pizza, but I'm not going to wait in that line. There's no flow. Can you think of the millions of dollars that Costco loses because they haven't figured out how to introduce flow into the food court line? I'm sure I'm not the only one that walks by that line regularly because it's just so long. It would be so simple to fix the process and add flow. So in the lean world that I live in, inside my head, there must be flow. I see waste and I see flow. And when I don't see flow, I go, we need to fix this. So I am constantly contrasting flow and bottlenecks. inefficiency and efficiency in processes. When I pull up to a signal and I see cars backed up and I see huge amounts of batch work and I see all this time being wasted, I go, why isn't there flow here? Every process I look at in life, I ask myself, why isn't there flow? So everybody's had this problem before. You go to plug in your USB and invariably you plug it in the wrong way and you have to flip it over. No flow. Struggle. Why? Because the manufacturers didn't think, hey, we should make a clear, rock solid delineation on which way is top and bottom so nobody ever makes this mistake again. So one of the listeners to my show came up with an idea. He said, why don't we just take a 3/8 FastCap and stick it on each side so you know through visual controls exactly which side is up. So you never make that mistake again. You never interrupt flow ever again. Elegance, simplicity, every time, because we are pursuing flow.
John, what about flow?
Well, we were just talking about examples of flow, and I think the stand-up desk is a perfect example of flow, because when you're standing up and you want to go over to a filing cabinet or check something, it's no problem at all. But back in the days when you're sitting down, you'd always make an excuse like, oh, I gotta get up, sit down. So flow is a great example of standing up.
Well, I hope you now have an idea of some of what Lean has to offer you. As for the company, Lean can really help us accomplish our mission to build people in the world around us, all beginning by first improving value to our customers. Lean can really be summed up in the application of the golden rule for our customers. They aren't here to generate value for themselves, so we seek to create as much value for them as we can. Because if we were the customer, that's what we would want, right? When applied correctly, Lean has also proven to make work more enjoyable for the employee. Improving our surroundings adds purpose to life as we see our efforts benefit others in a meaningful way. This video clip is a great example of what I mean.
So, Ansel, when I walked by, I said, what do you like best about working at FastCap?
And I was thinking about it, and hands down, it has to be making improvements throughout the company. When you are making improvements, you're thinking outside the box. You're using your creative mindset to solve a problem and make that problem have a solution. And when you have this solution that affects other people, that is one of the most thrilling feelings, because you see your contribution to your work contributing to other people's lives. You're making theirs simpler.
So tell me about this example you gave me.
So, well, actually I have an example right here.
Show me.
Yeah. So here's our dashboard every day. And this is what we have to come back to. And there was this is what we look at every morning meeting. And a lot of times people forget to go back to this dashboard. This is what we would like to end our morning meeting at. And so what I did, this is what we're going over throughout the meeting, all of the visual measurements throughout the company. And this is the pulse of the company. And what I did is I created it green. Green means is what you go to. That's what you go to, is your green. So this is what you manually have to change every time. And then what I did is I synced it up with a tab and made that green, the same color.
Oh my gosh, I didn't notice that. That is too cool. So you've got a green tab there, so you know exactly immediately that the green tab is for the pulse. So click on the pulse, so let's see what happens.
So you have to remember, you go to the green, so we always go to the pulse.
Wow.
That's what we end our morning meeting on, and that is a tangible effect I have on this company that I feel is just motivating for me to make more improvements.
So your favorite thing is making improvements. That is really an incredible concept, because most people would come to work and say, I'm going to just work, but you come to work thinking, how am I going to improve?
How am I going to improve? Whatever I'm doing. It's a little mission of mine. Whatever monotonous little task that I may be doing, it becomes unmonotonous by thinking, how can I improve this?
That was profound. And how long have you worked here?
Almost a month and a half.
So a month and a half, and you're already thinking this way. Work becomes unmonotonous because you're always thinking about how I can improve everything.
That is correct. Yes.
You rock. I'm going to put you on the spot here. Okay. So why should I trust you to make improvements? Because everybody's watching this video going, well, I can't trust my people to make these improvements.
Because we always check with whoever, with our master, with whoever is looking over our shoulder first.
So did you check with someone before you made the improvement to the computer program?
I did, with John. I asked, is this acceptable? Can I make this check? Or can I make this improvement? I think this is how I think it'll improve, and this is what waste will be involved that we will eliminate. And by eliminating that waste, by checking with somebody above me, I was able to go ahead, get the okay, and get everyone on board with my improvement.
JT.
It's a collaborative effort. We work together. We collaborate for the customer.
Lean principles can also be a great tool to help you manage time more effectively. Small improvements can easily cut the time in half that it takes to do a certain task. No one can complain about the possibility of doing in 24 hours what used to take 48 hours, right? As an everyday task becomes struggle-free, stress levels naturally drop. Most of us don't realize how much stress we are carrying around every day due to the added struggle to accomplish even the smallest tasks. Eliminated waste allows us to accomplish more work with less effort. Lean is also an intentional way of thinking. Instead of just reacting to things that happen to come our way, we are proactively eliminating and preventing problems from our pathway to success. It's proven that those who are proactively engaged are much more successful. I really like what Paul has to say about this.
I have come to learn that time is the great equalizer. Every human being gets 24 hours in a day, and what we do with that 24 hours, rich or poor, educated or uneducated, determines the effectiveness, the success and happiness that we will enjoy in life. If you are a highly productive individual who is highly disciplined and reliable to your team members, your family, and the other people you work with, it goes without saying that you will have a better life experience. Lean allows you to optimize more out of those 24 hours.
And now I'll just point out one more bonus of Lean. I call it a bonus because making money is not really what our purpose is, but it can help us to accomplish it. More profit is simply a natural byproduct of doing Lean. As we create more value for our customers, we naturally attract more of them. And as we do our work with less cost and greater efficiency, or in other words, as we boost throughput, our profit margins grow, enabling us to add greater value to our employees in many different ways. Okay, so now let's take a look at the 3 pillars previously mentioned that have made business owners and individuals like Paul Akers so successful at creating fun and effective lean cultures over the past decade. Paul has narrowed the most key elements for his success down to these 3 essential pillars that must be in place to support the structure of a lean culture. Pillar 1 is the importance of knowing the 8 wastes like the back of your hand. Not only you, but everyone must know the 8 wastes intimately. It is important that we review what good looks like regularly as well, so as to keep improvement ideas or changes we make in line with the big picture. Pillar 2 is the necessity of daily 3S'ing and 2-second improvements. And Pillar 3 is the importance of sharing these improvements and making them a matter of record. Let's touch on these pillars in a little more detail. Pillar 1, know the 8 wastes. Simply put, if you don't know the 8 wastes, you can't spot them. And the better you know them, the better you will get at spotting them. It is important that leaders create an opportunity for every individual to have a regular opportunity to test their knowledge of the 8 wastes. The 8 wastes should be presented and reviewed on a daily basis. To help you memorize the 8 wastes, as mentioned in an earlier lesson, the acronym downtime can be a great tool, which again stands for defects, overproduction, waiting, non-utilized talent, transportation, inventory, motion, and extra processing. Okay, so what about the 3 S's? Basically, they are a simplified version of the 5 S's of Lean that have been proven very effective to help create better flow. Check out this video for a great explanation and example of 3S'ing.
Hey, honey, where does this silver mirror go? Hey, or maybe it's one of those silver platter things.
We need almond flour and coconut flour. Okay. Coconut? Almond? They're all white. Where do I put this thing? What is this thing? It's not a plate. But it's also not a bowl. I wish I wasn't always having to clean this darn thing. Okay, so we're really getting started here now. Well, in this video, I'm going to introduce you to 3S. 3S stands for 3 very simple activities you're going to do every day for the rest of your life. Do you really mean that? Yes. Or at least, I mean, for the rest of your work life. You're gonna do it every single day at work. So what the heck is 3S? Well, I'm glad you asked. 3S comes from 3 Japanese words, which are seri, seiso, and seiketsu. When translated into English, we get 3 activities. Sort. This is about getting rid of your stuff. It's about getting rid of your stuff that you don't need. It means, when translated, to keep only the essential tools and items on hand. Remove everything else. The next S is for sweep. Sweep is about cleaning up your stuff. It means to regularly clean and tidy up the workplace so that work is unambiguous and unhindered by mess. And lastly, standardize. Standardize means to create and update standards for how things are done. This makes it easy for anyone else to jump into your organization and work there as well. Really, the reason why we do 3S is because it makes work easy. Now, other people may tell you that 3S is actually about eliminating clutter so that what's called value-added activities can flow. And that's true. Other people might tell you that 3S is about finding problems, and that's true as well. All these things are true, but really the outcome of what we do in 3S is that it makes all this easier. And that's why we do it. Who wouldn't be in for an easier work experience, right? After you've spent some time 3S'ing your workplace, you'll have a beautiful, struggle-free environment to work in. There won't be junk getting in the way. All your equipment and workspaces will be clean, organized, and well-maintained. And it'll be so simple and apparent how everything works that even a complete stranger will be able to find exactly what they need. Oh, and don't think even for a moment that this is only for manufacturing. And lastly, let me emphasize that this really has to be something that everyone does every day. And there's no exceptions today. And it's what companies all over the world are doing too. You'll see the president and a new hire side by side 3S'ing the workspace. It's awesome. The reason why is if you can't get everybody to do it in manufacturing, in the office, in the warehouse, out in the field, everywhere, and if you can't get them to do it every day, then it's extremely unlikely that you're going to be able to stick with it for the long term. And actually, all the rest of Lean as well. Well, that's it for this video. Got a whole lot more to tell you, but it's gonna wait until you play the next one.
What if we have lots of good ideas to eliminate waste, but we just don't have time to work on the solutions because we're just too busy? Paul has a great answer to this question as well.
My employees are really focusing on ways to come up with great improvement ideas, but the list of possible improvements is starting to get backed up because we don't have the time to implement them. Any thoughts? Answer. Sometimes it makes no sense to stop and do 3S'ing and improvement when the workload is overwhelming. So I will answer the question by telling a story about what happened at FastCap. Many years ago, we worked overtime regularly, even on the weekends, because our workload was so great. We seemed to never be able to catch up, and when I said to everybody, stop working, we're going to clean our area, we're going to 3S everything, we're going to make improvements, and if it takes us 1 hour or even 4 hours every day to do it, I don't care. We're going to do it, and then we're going to work. Now, as you can imagine, there was great angst amongst all the employees because they thought they would do nothing but get further and further behind. I assured them that if we took the time to improve and create an orderly, clean, and well-organized work area, they would actually get more work done and they would catch up. So we went ahead and made the commitment to 3S'ing and improving regardless of the workload. And behold, we caught up. Not only did we catch up, but we do millions of dollars more in business with a similar sized crew, and we never work overtime. This is the difference between making continuous improvement a priority or doing it when it's convenient. Improving first not only gives you the improvement, it lightens the load and allows you to keep up with accelerating demand. It is counterintuitive, and I understand this, but I've learned this lesson and I am 100% committed to it. We make sure that our work areas are 3S and that everyone has made a 2-second improvement before we ever begin our production work. When work flows, chaos is eliminated. Lean is not just a convenient belief. It is at the cornerstone of great companies.
Okay, now let's jump into Pillar 4, the importance of sharing our improvements and putting them on record. There are many benefits from doing this, but a few of them are: number 1, accountability. When we are required to make a record and share our improvements, we are also held accountable to make sure we are actually doing it in the first place. Number 2, training. These videos or records can be used as a great advantage for future training purposes. And number 3, a record of accomplishments. We have the ability to look back and get a picture of just what we have accomplished. Number 4, as we share our improvements with others, it creates a sense of excitement and boosted morale in the workplace. And number 5, it's a great tool to help people develop greater communication skills and grow in their ability to articulate ideas and present them to others. The people skills developed from this process are very beneficial in many ways. Taking a quick 30-second unedited video is actually a very effective way of sharing our improvements. It takes less time than writing it down and makes it immediately accessible to everyone when shared on a home database. To give you an idea of what these 2-second improvement videos look like, check out this short video. The first clip shows an example of what a few 2-second improvements can make to a single process. This process in particular normally took 2 hours to complete. Though a couple hours are put into improvements, the savings in doing this improvement totaled 1 hour and 15 minutes. So in just 2 process cycles, the time invested to make the improvements will pay for itself. And from that point on, the savings grow exponentially. Making these improvements continually, and you can go from completing an order in 1 week to completing it in 2 hours. The clip is then followed by a few examples of actual 2-second improvement videos which take less than a minute to shoot and share.
Doing?
Great, how are you, Paul?
Good. So this is speed tape where we package everything. Show us the current state.
So the current state, we have a piece of foam here. It's got a light mounted in it here, and that's so that we can align the labels front and back. So when we do it, you take the tape out here, have your front label. You're going to put the front label face down on the light. You can see through the label so you know which way it's facing. So now when you pull this label off, it's really easy to align it on there. So when you flip it over, both sides are right side up every time.
Perfect.
It goes in the box.
And then you also do a little tamp. So do a couple real quick. Let us watch what you do.
Yeah.
Align, label, do, tamp, in the box. All right, so this is very good. Now look at the waist here. The waist is a little bit of reaching. You can see how that's all happening.
but it's a very clean process, and Lucas has made this remarkably better along with the help from all the other people. Annie came up with a box idea to tilt that and put it linear. It's just awesome. There's so many good improvements here, but you can see some excess motion, all right? So today I'm on the shop floor helping Lucas work. And I like to always be on the shop floor because that's where I learned, and I had to actually do this process, so we came up with some improvements. Go ahead, Lucas.
So here's what we've done to improve it. First of all, we took this roll of labels and we rewound it on a rewound table we have. So now instead of coming off with the 1x50 towards you, it comes off with the UPC towards you. And that's really helpful because when you put these down, it's much easier to align it on the light where you see the part that says speed tape as opposed to the rest of this label and know which side's up. And when you do that, you want this label coming off so you don't have to flip it like this in order to get it.
So we reduce motion?
So we reduce a lot of motion right there like that. And then we discovered that the entire flipping of motion and tapping it down there wasn't really necessary because we're putting these side by side in a box where they're actually pushing on each other.
And we did a test and they're pushed on perfectly.
Yes,
so we
they
eliminated some over processing, right?
So now we just put the label on and it goes straight in the box like that. So that eliminated a ton of motion.
Now, what about our reference? We haven't talked about, we changed this reference point right here. Let's look over there what we did. So let's go back and do that one real quick.
Over here when you're putting the tape down on there, you got this proud part. You kind of got to line that up to put it on there so you can see through it right. And then when you go, or when you were going to flip it, if you were off center, you'd be pushing down in the middle of the label
and crinkling
it. So we eliminated all that by putting this reference circle here. So now I can basically do it without looking, except that I want to see where it is, but I don't have to think about where I'm putting this. I slide it right in there every time. It's in the right spot with the light shining right through just right. And
the label,
yeah,
position. We eliminated a whole bunch of over processing, motion, and everything. Small little 2-second improvements.
And then the last thing we've done here is we determined that there's a lot of motion reaching from here all the way up down in this box every time. So we're taking this box, and we haven't made it out of wood yet.
Just temporary.
With it temporarily, but this box we're going to have angled downward like that. So now I eliminated this motion into only this motion. And then we discovered that if I reach in and I pull a whole stack out here at once, it's even less motion for every one I do.
And we're saving seconds on every one of these, and we spend 2 hours a day doing this. Our goal is to get to 1 hour a day, cut it in half, because we believe that everything we do can be cut in half. Think about that concept. Not just shaving a few seconds off, but literally cut in half. And we will cut this process in half to 1 hour a day, where before it was 2 hours, and before long, we'll probably even get it faster than that. And notice we're using our wits and not our wallet here. We're not spending a whole bunch of money on technology. We're just hyper analyzing the motion, over processing, and all the things that go into this process. There you go, a 2-second improvement over and over again. Lucas, great job.
Thanks, Paul. Wow, we just did 1,240 minutes now.
No way.
Yeah, and before we did any of this, we did 1,202 hours. That's less than half the time.
So you cut it in half.
Oh yeah.
And I noticed you even made another change since I left. You have the box vertical now.
Yeah, this is the last improvement we came up with since you left us, and now when we pull these out, they're all coming out the way we need them, so there's no extra flipping, no thought about it. They come out in a stack, they go right here, they go right here. No
over processing.
No over processing.
Unbelievable.
And on top of that, we got everything a little bit tighter in here, so we eliminated a couple more inches of motion.
So just for the record, you made a bunch of small little tiny 2-second improvements, and it all added up to almost cutting the process, actually cutting the process more than in half.
More than in half.
Wow.
So now that it's pretty warm out, we have the big fan that's going on most of the time, and I'm having an issue with papers blowing away when you're in the aisles. So found a quick solution. I modified one of the little tables that we have. I inset part of a mag band, and so now what I can do is have your pen, which has your mag band on it, and it will hold your paper down. You pick it up and your pen is right there. Also, it is flush, so you can still set stuff on top of your cart.
Hello FastCap, this is Dennis, Greg, and Matt here. We're making an improvement for the sander. Go ahead, man. would be right here, touching from that crack. So this portion gets a lot of dust collected inside. So we take that off and we unblock the bottom, and the dust collection goes directly from the bottom. So this whole thing is act as dust collection. So every dust just goes inside.
Before, the issue we had was we would get a bunch of stuff gummed up right up in here because it was trying to get sucked up into the vacuum that was along here. And so now it should all just go straight down.
You're gonna love this product.
Alright, so it used to be with my spray adhesive that we had a power mag stuck to it, and it was solo kit shrink wrapped on, and so then every time this can got empty, we'd have to cut the shrink wrap and put the power mag on a new can and re-shrink wrap it on. And then when you're using it, there's the temptation to, wherever you're standing, just stick it randomly to a rack anywhere, and then you wouldn't remember where it was, and you would have more bottles open than you needed. So Skylar gave me this idea. What I did now is I put a pro hold everywhere where the can goes, and now when I get a new can, it just sticks right on. Power mag not needed, don't have to do any replacing of anything, and they're always in exactly the same location, because without a power mag on it, it won't just stick randomly to a rack. It'll only stick where it should be.
Hi, so we're in the wood shop. I'm with my grandson, Daxton. He's 6 years old. And Daxton helped me make some improvements today. This was one of his ideas on how to handle a drawer that we had found with a bunch of punches in it. So, Daxton, tell us about your improvement.
So, this improvement was, I drew an idea of this square, then I use these bolts to screw it in, and then we have these punch holes. We made the right thing, and we use this drill presser over there to drill those holes in it.
So every punch has its own hole now.
Yes, and
they're not in a drawer anymore now. Okay, so here's another improvement that we worked on today. We've got our table saw sitting here now and towards the middle of the shop, and we've got this post here, which is perfect for us to hang some things on. But we wanted to get tape measures off of our shelves and off of the saw somewhere we could grab them. So what did you do, Daxton?
So we got this weird shaped hammer, and then we got this little wood piece and a clamp, and we clamped this wood down. We put it in the side, we hammered it, and then these.
Take it off there and show us how it works.
And look, so look.
All right, it's just a little piece of hanger strap.
Yes,
pipe strap,
and black one, and
we bend it around a 1x.
Yes, and then like if you're in a rush and you like really need the tape measure, this is a perfect thing to do. And I recommend using Craggle Soft.
Awesome, good recommendation.
All right.
Thanks, Dax.
Wondering where to even start with finding 2-second improvement ideas? Here's a quick 3-step tool for getting the 2-second improvement engine started. Step 1. Take a look and analyze each action included in a specific process. Step 2. Identify which category each of those actions fit into, waste or value-added activity. Step 3. Make at least a 2-second improvement beginning with the biggest waste. Before we go, I'll mention just a few other key principles that Paul states as being critical to establishing a lean culture. Number 1. Improvement should be an expectation from our employees, not an extracurricular activity that has to be incentivized by bonuses or bribes. Humility. We need to realize the simple fact that no one is better than another person. We all have value to add to the company, and none of us can become as great by ourselves as we can with the united talent and gifts of those around us. Giving credit, not seeking it. If we are eager to give credit where it is due, others will be as well. This creates a great environment where people are eager to help one another and share ideas. Openly recognizing good performance from those around us and expressing it is also very important. Put people relationships first. Profit and stuff is not as important as people. If one needs to be put aside, things or stuff should always be considered as less important than our relationships with others. The golden rule goes along with this. Just a simple sense of consideration for others is a key to a successful lean culture. Ask yourself next time you leave a mess for someone else to clean up, would you appreciate coming to find that mess for you to take care of? Think hard to make everything else easy. It's not about working harder, it's about being smarter. As we engage our minds, we find we are able to get much more done with less physical effort. We don't have to work fast all the time. Just steadily and consistently doing things right every time enables us to accomplish our work without struggle. Please read or listen to the book by Paul Akers called 2-Second Lean for more insight into what we have discussed in this lesson, and if you want to learn more, his book points you in the direction to even more resources for building a successful lean culture. Talk to your supervisor to get a copy. Thanks for watching and have a great day.